Washington has forgotten that Americans are in it for the long haul. While our senators and congresspeople focus on short-term stunts to stay in office,
Help me, help me, help me, help me. You need to have my back, please. LindseyGraham.com.
it's up to us to ensure the safety and long-term future of our country, the future for our children, and the future for our grandchildren. It's easy to remember the Democrats and Republicans that are running every election, but it's time to start paying attention to the other names on the ballot. They may be the ones running our country in the future, and it might be smart to pay attention to them. If you live in Alaska, New York, Idaho, Hawaii, or Utah, one name might stand out to you: Brock Pierce. Some of you might remember him from films like The Mighty Ducks, Little Big League, and First Kid, but there's a lot more to know about Brock Pierce. For instance,
America spends more on healthcare than any other country by far, but our nation's healthcare system is still failing us. We can do better. Our pharmaceutical and healthcare industries are financially invested in keeping people sick and addicted to harmful prescription drugs. We can do better. We can provide effective and affordable healthcare for all Americans. We can do better. Imagine you rented a house for a year, but then sold the house to someone else and spent the money on yourself. That would be illegal, of course. But that's essentially what our government has been doing now for decades. We can do better. Many Americans are continuing to be forced into debt as a result of unfair lending practices, poor economic policies, and a rising wealth divide. We can do better. Our government has not only been fiscally irresponsible, it's been robbing our future generations. We can do better. If the United States of America is the land of the free, then why do we incarcerate more people, both in total and per capita, than any other country in the world? Our justice system has been locking people up for decades at far higher rates than anywhere else because of racism, an irrational war on drugs, and the corrupting influence of a for-profit prison industry. If we are to truly be the land of the free, we must honor the American values of liberty and justice for all. I think it's time to end the private prisons and incentivize our government to improve the life, liberty, and happiness of all Americans. In the preamble to our Declaration of Independence, it states that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, and that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. To be clear, all people are created equal. And so ever since those words were written, we have witnessed the American government refuse, resist, and deny those unalienable rights. And so I believe that we must take a stand for them. It is time for us to include all of us. It is time for us to stand for life, liberty, and happiness for all. It's the year 2020. Things are supposed to get clear, bringing transparency to systems and places that have historically been opaque. We believe bringing light to shadow will better all things. Now is the time to do something. Now is the time to get involved. This is an invitation to participate. Register to vote. Exercise your civil duty. Exercise your civil responsibility. The future is going to happen to you, or it's going to happen with you. Be part of the process. We have the power to create the future we all want to live in, but it takes all of us getting involved.
pay attention to the future. Pay attention and vote. Pay attention to Brock Pierce.